Have you ever been to Japan? Or even just seen it in movies or online? If you have, you've definitely noticed it. This incredible, really deep-seated culture of politeness. It's something many of us have seen, but, not many of us truly get what's behind it. So today, we're going to unravel that fascinating cultural puzzle.
Okay, so let's just ask the big question right up front. What is it that makes Japanese politeness feel so different, so unique? It's way more than just having good manners. It feels like an entire social operating system. And that right there is the mystery we're going to solve together.
And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen the pictures, right? People lining up for a train in a perfect silent line. Public spaces that are just unbelievably clean. This constant, deep consideration for the people around you, in big ways and small, it all feels so intentional.
So where does all of this come from? Well, it's definitely not random. This whole intricate system is built on a really deep historical and philosophical foundation. The answer, it turns out, is in three ancient pillars that over centuries have literally shaped the nation's character. So let's dig in and break them down one by one. Our first pillar, this one provides the social framework for everything. We're talking about the powerful, long-lasting influence of Confucianism, which is all about creating and maintaining social order.
Now, what's really wild about this is just how long these ideas have been around. This wasn't some fleeting trend. Confucianism came over from China more than 1,500 years ago. And then, crucially, during that long, stable Edo period, it became the official state ideology. That's what really cemented these values deep, deep into the social fabric. And honestly, they're still there today.
So, what's the core idea? In a word, hierarchy. Confucianism basically teaches that a peaceful, stable society is built on everyone knowing their role and their duties within a very clear structure. Like ruler and subject, parent and child, or, and this is a big one in modern Japan, senior and junior. Politeness, then, isn't just about being nice. It's the lubricant that keeps this whole social machine running smoothly.
And you can see this ancient philosophy playing out every single day in modern Japan. Take the ritual of exchanging business cards. It's not just about swapping contact info. It's a careful dance to establish who's who in the hierarchy. Same with bowing. The depth of your bow signals your understanding of status. And of course, the incredibly complex system of honorific language, called keigo, is a direct, verbal expression of this social order. It's everywhere.
All right, let's move on to our second pillar, because this is where it all starts to build. So, if Confucianism provides the structure, Buddhism provides the collective mindset for the people within that structure, this powerful spirit of group harmony. Listen to this. This quote comes from Japan's very first constitution, way back in the year 604. It says, "Harmony is to be valued." This introduces one of the most critical concepts in Japanese culture, wa. It's this idea that the harmony of the group is the most important thing.
Now, what's really important to get about wa is that it's not just about being passive or nice. It's an active, conscious effort to put the group first, ahead of the individual. It's all about cooperation, actively avoiding conflict, and doing whatever it takes to maintain a peaceful, functioning unit. And because of wa, you see all these behaviors pop up. Communication is often really indirect because you don't want to risk offending someone and disrupting the harmony. There's this prized social skill called kuki oyomu, which literally means reading the air. And it's all about understanding what people are feeling without them having to say it. It's why big decisions are often made by group consensus, and it's absolutely why shared public spaces are kept so quiet and orderly. It's all about protecting the group's harmony.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar. This is the one that governs our personal conduct, our relationship with the world around us. And this comes from Shintoism, which is Japan's indigenous religion.
So at the very heart of Shintoism is this idea of purity, and on the flip side, the avoidance of impurity, which is known as kagare. Now here's what's so fascinating. Kagare isn't just physical dirt, it's also spiritual and social impurity. Basically, anything that disrupts the natural harmony or order of things. And here is the absolute key connection. This idea of avoiding impurity extends directly to how you treat other people. Causing someone trouble, making them uncomfortable, or imposing on them, in a Shinto sense, that's seen as a form of social defilement. So being polite becomes a way of maintaining spiritual and social purity.
And once you get that, so many of those iconic Japanese customs just click. Think about taking your shoes off before going inside. That's about keeping the impurity, the kegare, of the outside world from defiling the pure space within. This thinking extends to why public spaces are so spotless, and it's all connected to that famous idea of meiwaku o kakenai, which means don't cause trouble for others. That is the ultimate social role for avoiding kegare. Even saying itadakimasu before eating is a little ritual to show gratitude and maintain purity in the act of receiving food. So there we have it, our 3 pillars. But the real magic, the secret sauce, isn't in any single one of them. It's in how they all combine. They don't just exist side by side, they actually interlock and reinforce each other to create this single, incredibly powerful cultural system.
So here's the big takeaway, the whole thing in a nutshell. Confucianism gives you the social framework, so you know your place and your duties. Buddhism gives you the group mindset, so you prioritize harmony above yourself. And Shintoism guides your personal conduct, so you strive to be pure and not cause trouble for anyone else. Frame, mindset, conduct. Together, those 3 layers create that unique and profound culture of politeness we've been talking about. But in the modern world, nothing is ever quite that simple, is it? This amazing system, for all of its incredible strengths, also has its challenges. It really can be a double-edged sword. I mean, look at this. The very same values that create an incredibly safe, clean, and cohesive society can also create this immense pressure to conform. That deep consideration for others, well, it can lead to communication that's so indirect it becomes confusing or ambiguous. And prioritizing the group all the time can sometimes suppress individual expression. It's a really fascinating trade-off when you think about it. Which leaves us with this final, really big question to chew on. As Japan becomes more and more connected with a globalized world that often celebrates bold, loud individualism, how can this deep-rooted tradition of harmony evolve? Can it truly coexist with the modern demand for individualism? That is the challenge, and it's a fascinating cultural evolution that's happening right now. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.